Hello everyone, I'm Buriana Mumerin from BISE. At BISE, we are committed not only to introducing some of the best contemporary somatic therapies in Bulgaria, but also to ensuring that they are taught by some of the finest teachers in the field. Today, I'm honored to introduce our teacher for the second year of the Somatic Experiencing Professional Training, Doris Rotbauer. Doris Rotbauer is licensed psychotherapist who has been working in private practice in Munich for more than 20 years. Originally trained in communicational psychology and certified as trainer in NLP. Doris has taught professional workshops for social institutions in leadership, team building, communication, conflict resolution, self-management, and other behavior skills. Alongside SC and communication psychology, she has completed extensive training in cognitive, learning, developmental, and essential psychology. In addition, Doris brings in-depth experience in NLP, Ericksonian hypnosis, body-oriented psychotherapy, various approaches to humanistic psychotherapy, and attachment theory. Hello, Doris. It's a great honor to welcome you to Bulgaria's part as our SC faculty. You will be teaching in second year of the first professional SC training in our country. For our students, it will be invaluable to meet you personally, learn from your experience, and hear more about SE and what lies ahead in this training.
Well, thank you for the opportunity and the willingness to be a pioneer in with this method. I have been pioneering in several countries, so I do know that it does take a lot of energy, and I hope I can contribute. And I feel very honored that you invited me.
Thank you for your support as well. To begin with the first question, could you share a bit about yourself so people can get to know you better?
Yes, maybe I share a little bit what brought me to somatic experiencing. Was in 1998, so it's a long time ago, that I met Peter Levine when he was offering a workshop because a friend of mine had invited him. And I was electrified when I listened because he offered what I would call the missing link. I mean, I was teaching more top-down methods. I was working with emotions, yes, but I never paid a lot of attention to the body. And probably, as many of you also know, there are always moments where all your knowledge doesn't help you to respond differently. Told yourself you want to stay calm next time, you're going to be very empowered, holding your space, and then you lose it. So I was always curious, what is it that shuts down my brain and that closes the door to all my knowledge that is available when I'm regulated? And when he explained about nervous system dysregulation and its effect on the brain and the brain's capacity to modulate the physical sensations and the emotions, this is when I realized, yes, that's what I want to add to my, what we call basket. And I was also inspired by his aliveness and curiosity. He's a scientist, a little mad scientist, I admit, but he was really inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah. He actually mixes science with some traditional methods, which makes SE very interesting to work with, very enriching one for me personally.
Yeah, he draws from all fields.
Yeah. Yeah, you are trained in many different methods and forms of psychotherapy. What stands out as different for you in SE, and what unique or valuable quality does SE add to your work with people?
Well, I think, as I said before, it really offers the missing link.
Mhm.
which is working bottom up when top down is not functioning, because the part in our brain that allows functioning is no longer connected to the emotional and the instinctive parts in us. So, as I said, imprints of trauma are not just memories, images, or narratives about something bad that has happened in the past. They are physical sensations that are experienced as threatening here now. So when somebody starts talking about past traumatic experiences, the experience is in the body here and now. And SE offers a way of addressing that. SE offers a way of reconnecting the different layers of the brain so the functioning, the information can travel in a more regulated way. It's making people feel more safe when they tap into innate capacities again, when you help them embody also, let's say, the positive effects of resources. And the more they calm down, the more the higher evolved parts of our brain start to come back online. It's really interesting to see what we can do with brain scans right now. And Bessel van der Kolk did wonderful research, and he wrote a wonderful book about this too. You can literally see how whole areas in the brain shut down when the system is flooded by negative sensations and emotions. And how to work with that, that's the treasure SE offers.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. In what types of cases do you find SE to be irreplaceable approach?
Especially when people, for example, they come in and they can't feel. And when you work with traumatized patients, how many of them fluctuate between either being flooded by negative emotions or not feeling anything, either
Yeah.
by shutting down or by tapping into internal chaos. So this is where I find SE very valuable, because here, when you work with these people, the top-down approach, the talking about the problem, doesn't actually help, because the body listens to what we remember, to what we share. And when we talk about only the painful experiences, the sensations, the dysregulation in the nervous system, if you would take the measures, cortisol level would go up, all the neurotransmitters would go crazy. There's so much going on a physical level that also impairs the way we feel, we think, and we meet the world. I like the sentence, we meet the world through our internal state. If that's calm and regulated, the world looks like a much more friendly place than when we look through internal chaos. The world is a lot more threatening when there is a lot of uncontrollable things going on in the body.
Yeah, lovely said. We meet the world in
Our
yeah,
internal state, yeah.
yeah, yeah. You said a little bit what first inspired you to learn SE, but what continues to inspire you to pass on this tradition to other therapists who are beginning their SE journey? And why SE in particular?
Um, Well, it offers a new approach, really. And I mean, obviously, I'm not familiar with all the approaches that are popular in Bulgaria. Each country has their own preferences, I would say.
Yeah.
But so many times, and I've been teaching, I've been supervising for more than 20 years now. So I always see therapists, especially the ones who really want to be offering the best for their clients or patients, I see them efforting so hard.
Mm.
And it's exactly, this is where, when you go too much into your own efforting, trying to solve your clients' problems, trying to offer something to make them feel better, the more you effort, the more you leave the space of connection and of listening. And trauma disconnects. When our system is flooded due to the shutting down in the brain, we lose the continuity of self.
Mm.
We all have gaps in our experience of self. So to be less afraid of the uncontrollable, to stay curious when not knowing now how to fix this, but to still stay connected and curious, it opens up an entire new realm where things can slowly emerge, unfold. And so often we try to fix something before we even know what's causing the problem.
Yeah.
So when we stay more calm and interested and curious, this is the ingredient that makes people then less afraid of what's going on inside of them because they have now a companion that keeps helping, orienting, knows when the things get too much and brings them back to more safer ground. And this kind offers an attunement also to the nonverbal aspects. And think, I mean, so many traumatic events before the age of 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
it starts with birth. So these are areas that are by nature, due to the way our brain evolves, they are unconscious. We have no chance because the neocortex only starts coming online at the age of 2.5, 3 years.
Mm.
All the relational patterns, all our deepest belief systems about ourselves and so on, they are already in place in form of often physical discomfort, physical pains, areas that we had to shut down so early. So, how can we address those nonverbal areas? This
Mm.
is really what I love to introduce to the people or the therapists that I work with, and it always makes them quite curious, actually.
Yeah. Lovely. Working with that foundations in the nervous system, in the body, yeah, that forms everything else further in our lives. Yeah.
It's so important, just to add, Boyana, uh, we come with our brainstem. When we are born, the brainstem functions, but that's the only part of the brain that is fully evolved.
Yeah.
So the autonomic nervous system is really the ground on which our emotions and our cognition builds. When there's a lot of dysregulation, it's going to lead to distorted emotions and to distorted sense of self. So it is worthwhile to include that layer into our work.
We come to this world with our instincts and our defensive responses. Yes, the brain continue to develop during our growth. Yeah, growing. Yeah. Over the 3 years of training, what transformations do you observe in your students, both professionally and personally?
Well, they usually report back that they can stay more present, more embodied, that they are becoming a little less judgmental of themselves when things go wrong and stay a little more curious, because when you always take responsibility of everything that's going on, I mean, of course we are responsible, but there are also things that we cannot promise. So when people start to relax, they stay more connected to the people they work with. And this is what they usually then report back, that they discover a lot more. They discover much more the resources. They feel more alive, and they can also support their clients to feel a little more alive and safe with more aliveness again. And in general, it's, I think, more joyful and more connection, they say.
Yeah,
Feel more connected.
I can confirm that from my personal experience.
I'm glad.
Yeah, and probably more accepting ourselves in the authentic way we are.
Yes. Less self-judgment.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
understanding ourselves and others really dissolves the harshness of our self-judgment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that also happens with the support of the whole team of assistants, of the teachers. Yes, because at the training there is a very special environment created to support the process.
Mm.
This is what really inspired me to bring us to Bulgaria, that incredible environment of support and connection between the people.
I think that's so needed. So many of us work alone in their own
Yeah.
private practice. So to have that experience is good. And we should not work with trauma all alone. It can be overwhelming.
Yeah, it's too much to be alone. Yeah, what most often motivates people to enroll in the training?
Hmm. Well, they often feel stuck with certain client reactions. And usually they come because they feel like their tools, their interventions don't allow them, their clients or patients, to make the process that they would like to support them in.
Mm.
So that's when they realize they're missing. Usually, this what I was saying, the bottom up element.
Mm.
And when they realize the difference it makes when I can stay present and embodied, this is the best resource sometimes we can offer to people. Because I like that quote by Daniel Siegel. I said, healing happens when split off parts of ourselves can come into a receptive, into a receiving kind of awareness, means when we lower the fear. Because usually we split off parts of ourselves because they're too threatening, too scary to meet. So when we can stay calm, curious, and embodied, it's a signal that it's okay enough. When we start efforting, it's a very subtle signal to the other one that there is something threatening in the room. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is usually where people get very curious. How can I stay open, connected, without having to defend myself or feeling overwhelmed by my client?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because our neurosystems are connected, they talk to each other, they
Up your
resonate,
neurons.
and yes, we are picking very slight signs from the person sitting or standing next to us. Yes, and that affects the way we are feeling our body as well.
So you see, it's also worth thinking once in a while, what kind of experience would I like to share with my patients?
Yeah.
Because we, as you said, we do have mirror neurons. We respond to the traumatic energy.
Mm.
So when we have tools that allow people to find the more organized elements within themselves, it's also allowing the therapist to stay more organized. And that's
Mm.
quite beneficial also to our physical, not only mental, but also our physical health.
Yeah, that's why it's very important to work with our own
Yes,
traumatic history and with the regulation of our own body. Yeah.
mainly that. Yes, learning our own, discovering our own capacity. When things get tough, how we can calm down. When things get challenging, how can we find ways of meeting the challenge without disconnecting or overstepping our own boundaries again. That's important because therapists are so good in overstepping their own boundaries.
Mm. Yeah.
What I call a professional disease here.
The
Mm.
people who have joined this training or will be joining this training will form the first Bulgarian group to complete SE here, allowing it to reach and help more people in our country. What
Mm.
message would you like to share with them as they carry this tradition forward in Bulgaria?
What message would I like to share with them?
Yeah. Something to encourage them.
Well, basically, to really get curious how body and mind are actually connecting to form a more wholesome identity. It's really interesting. So many aspects here. When we only work with emotions, we overlook what's containing the emotions.
Mm.
Yeah, what are emotions actually originally by evolution meant to be for? They're meant to move us into good action. And this is what I like to bring. This world needs more embodied, clear, organized people who can stand up for their values. And with this new age of like being all the social media where everything is pulled out, we look somewhere else to discover ourselves. Like sometimes I wonder these teenage girls who all look the same. It's Instagram, yeah. But how much attention do people actually get to discover what's waiting within them to emerge and blossom?
Yes.
And when we can, as a club, so to say, when we can offer more how many times somebody sincerely interested in getting to know you with your deeper layers? And when we always pull to the surface, we don't realize the subtle pain it causes of being disconnected from our deeper layers. So if I can support that a little more, the reconnection to our deeper sense of self, that would be my message then. And I hope I find others who are interested in that.
I would like to join to join you in this, because in this world now, these days, it's really important to reconnect to ourselves and then to be able to connect to other people and the world around us.
Maturity means that I know what my needs are, I know what my values are, and that I can get a strength to stand up for them.
Yes, lovely. Beautiful said. You also lead SE trainings in many other countries. From your perspective, how does SE transforms the environment and the way therapists live and work?
Well, I think I repeat myself, but there was a research once that said if one person can stay calm, it affects people in a diameter of, I think, more than 20 meters. So if we can stay more calm and embodied, it will have a positive effect just through our being. It's not even through doing so much. And of course, I notice when I teach in Italy, or I also teach in Sweden, or I used to teach in Norway also. When in the south, there's always much more. The connection used to be regulated. In the north, they go in the tracks, or they run, or they go into the wilderness, and they're on their own and connect to their strength, physical strength. Yeah, but deep down, the longing and the fear are always the same. So what will change is that when I can pick up my own longing, but what's really what my heart would like to bring forth, and get less afraid of it, something positive is shifting in the communities. It's really interesting. People show up more authentically.
Yeah.
And interesting, also more vulnerable, but vulnerability transforms from being looked at as something weak to something that is just a sign of being alive.
Yeah,
Yeah. And there's a power in that.
absolutely. And it needs courage
Yes.
to feel vulnerable and show up. Yeah.
This world needs courageous people. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Looking ahead, what can participants expect from second year of the training and from the material you will be teaching?
Well, in the first year, you will learn the basic tools, the basic theory. In the second year, you will put these to use to work with the more complex trauma categories. And when I teach it, I have certain preferences. Each teacher has certain preferences. For me, I work a lot with attachment trauma in the second module. In the beginning module, it will be global high intensity activation, which means early trauma, pre and perinatal trauma, or trauma due to certain experiences like electroshock or lack of oxygen, which always activates the entire nervous system. And we will also work with the impact of or it's a different way of working when you work with global high or high impact. Falls, car accidents, medical procedures, which are very common. Most of us have an experience of that and very overlooked. How sometimes it can really unsettle somebody and take away the ground underneath their feet and make it very hard for them to find their footing again after. So these will be the main categories. The first year it's global high and high impact. The second year we work with childhood trauma, developmental and attachment trauma. And hopefully I will also get in, hopefully it's not needed, war.
Yeah, hopefully it's not needed.
Hopefully it's not needed, but I
But
will.
in Bulgaria, we are surrounded by many countries in war, unfortunately.
It's
Yeah.
more on the horizon than ever before. So
Mm.
cross our fingers that they will come to their senses.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else you would like to share that I haven't asked you about?
One note, maybe just what we shared before, Boriana, that I would be willing to offer a Q&A, like to answer questions. If people are interested, I'd be happy to also offer like a demonstration of how this work could be put into practice.
Mm.
And I would look forward to share what I love so much with the people who enroll.
Yeah, thank you for agreeing to do that for us. And we'll discuss dates and we'll let people know what the date will be.
Great.
And at the end of our conversation, I would like to invite you to speak directly to those who are about to join this training. What would you like to say to them?
Well, if you have the courage to come, it will be a very interesting journey in the psychobiology of our whole system. And I think it will be a nice process of reconnecting and discovering. So I look forward hearing your questions, helping and supporting the needs that you would like to have fulfilled, because the more I can support what you do already, the better.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you very much for this interview. I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person in Bulgaria in 2027. Thank you again.
Welcome, Brianna.
For more information, please visit our website bise.bg. Thank you.